Happy New Year, you magnificent bastards. It is your favorite neighborhood commentator, Ed here to go ahead and bring in the new year proper with the nicest motherfucking mic on YouTube with more Uncharted Drakes Fortune. Gotta get the air horn in there. I always wanted to do that, and now that I've done that, my life is complete. But outside of that, hopefully everybody out there had a safe and happy new year. Hopefully none of you were irresponsible and doing any type of drunk or buzz driving, because drunk drivers are automatically the scum of the universe. Don't put your life at risk thinking you can go ahead and get your car home even when you're feeling a little spirited. Don't do that. So hopefully nobody out there was an asshole, and everybody brought in the new year pretty proper. Me, I had a pretty chill new year. Actually, I wound up working that evening, but I still managed to go ahead and hang out with Bruce and his family to do the countdown. And even then, I was still heavily debating whether or not I actually wanted to go ahead and do anything for New Year. Granted, it's the end of a decade and the beginning of a new one, and New Year's always brings that pressure of trying to find something to do, like party wise. Like, it's party. You go ahead and end New Year proper. You try to go ahead and find something like really hype to do, and I feel like with that pressure of trying to do that every year, it gets a little too much, to where this year I was really just thinking about just not doing anything at all. Like past New Year's, I've always went out and hung out with Bruce, or just went out and clubbed or hung out at a bar and just drank with the people I actually give a shit about. And that's all well and good, but after doing that for so long, it starts to feel a little dull, for lack of a better word. Like, it starts to feel samey, to where it just, like, the excitement wears off, and I just felt like, you know what, maybe this year I want to go ahead and do something different. Granted, I didn't, because I just told you what I did, but I was really heavily debating whether or not I wanted to go ahead and just say fuck it. I was going to go home, pour a glass of wine, thank God that I was able to go ahead and see the end of a decade and also the beginning of a new one, and just chill out, take a sip, and just go to bed. Because yeah, that would be something that is very quiet, very calming, versus just being out there and trying to find something to do and just feeling just like oh, another year, another version of the same old shit I've been doing. And I've been feeling that way for a long ass time. Like, even going out to club is old and boring. Like, I'm at the age now where I'm I'm not an old man by any stretch, but I'm way too old to be in the club. Now, I haven't given that up, like, just straight up just cold turkey. Like, I still will go back every so often, but nowhere near as used to. I used to be Bruce and I used to be club hoppers. We got stories, but now I'm just, I don't know, like the sheen of it all has worn off, to where, especially on New Year's, where if you want to go out in the club, like any other night of the year outside of New Year's, like the club fees, the drinks, everything will be pretty, it'll be pretty cheap, it'll be pretty cost effective. But if you choose to go out on that night, expect everything to be just price gouged to hell, like highway robbery. Like, the door fees will be like astronomically high. The drink prices will be high. If you're trying to go ahead and eat in the club or in the bar, wherever you're gonna be, all that shit's gonna be jacked up. And the day after, I bet everything just goes and falls back down to earth in terms of pricing. And I just did not, like, I gave up that shit a long time ago. Like, to go out on New Year's, like going to a club or a bar, and you are going out there, you're going to be cold as fuck, you're going to be broke as fuck by the time the whole night is through. And I just felt like it wasn't worth it. That's why I started to dial back my New Year celebrating with just like close friends and family, like people I actually give a shit to be around. And even then, it's like it's the same shit. Like, the only time I will feel like like New Year's will be worth celebrating is if I got out there, like if some millionaire or billionaire invited me to spend my New Year's on his fucking like super Uber yacht in Dubai, and I get to see the fireworks explode over the Burj Khalifa, then I would be like, all right, that's something out of the ordinary. That's something fucking hype. That's a story worth telling. But outside of that, if it's just like just hey, drinks, family, friends, next year drinks, family, friends, next year after that drinks, family, friends, I'm like, all right, maybe I could go ahead and afford to not go out and just once again be grateful that I saw another year come by and another year be brought on, and just be happy with that. So I don't know, I might experiment with something like that in this coming year. So for anybody out there, like, hell, echo your thoughts to me on this subject. Like, have you had these feelings like when you got older, or are you still in the, you know what, nah, fuck this, no matter how old I get, I'm still gonna go out and party. I'm gonna party like it's 1999. So I don't know, I find this topic interesting to hear it in terms of like how other adults feel, or how anybody else feels. Like, I'm sure the younger generation out there, when it comes to New Year's, hell, y'all still young, y'all got your whole lives ahead of you, y'all want to go out there and just fucking party it up. But for the older, like for the older generation and the younger generation, hell, whoever comes across this video, give me your thoughts. Like, tell me how you feel about this time of year. Do you feel like you necessarily need to go out and party, or do you feel like, yeah, I kind of could just be happy just being around close friends, or hell, I could just be by myself and be happy? So I don't know, let me know about that. But outside of that, also, as you can plainly tell, this is post commentary, because you already heard the same old song and dance before. Why I do these post commentaries, video fucks up, gotta go ahead and do what I need to do in order to not have a video without any type of commentary over it. So yeah. But outside of the joyous way I brought this in, I actually am feeling a little emotional. And it's not for lack of, like, it's not for lack of anything. It's not for, like, I just saw like a family member die or anything, or like just something fucked up really happened. It's because, like, prior to me recording this tonight, I was actually looking at Deep Impact, and the last like maybe hour or so of that movie just really hits you in the feels, because once they find out the comets are going to hit Earth and there's nothing you can do, and they do the whole global lottery of our best and brightest are going to be preserved, like our best and brightest are going to be picked to go into the life cave, and anybody whom is not picked, guess what, you have been selected. You either been selected to live, or you have been selected to die. And Morgan Freeman's delivery of said terms of how this was gonna go down was some of the most like some of the most depressing shit you could ever see, because like him just delivering the speech of, look, we would definitely love to save every last one of you, but it is just not possible. So in order for us to go on as a society, like, we have to go ahead and pick the people, the most influential people out there, the smartest people, the most inspiring people. All those people, they get to come into the life cave. But if you don't have any type of applicable skill, if you don't have any type of useful skill that can help society go ahead and live beyond this super catastrophic event, then it pains me to say that you guys gotta die. Like, he doesn't say it like that, but it's damn obvious that, yeah, nah, like you can't come into the life cave with us. And the part that got me the most was not only the fact that if you don't have the skills, you can't come into the life cave, but also, like, if you're above a certain age, like I think it was said in the movie, if you're above the age of 50 or 60, and if you're not like a super hyper mega like uber surgeon, or you're not like a scientist or like a doctor, anything that would be helpful in the new world, you gotta die. You just straight up gotta get fucking blown up by this comet. And that's what was so fucked up, specifically because they show Téa Leoni's they showed her character's her mom taking this news, and she was like, oh, fuck, well, I mean, it's fucked up, but also you do understand, as morbid as that is, that it is just so fucked up that like old people, no, unless you are fucking like one of the world's most influential leaders, you gotta die. But I'm gonna take a break from that to go ahead and get into what we're seeing here, which is we're still trying to get off the island, and we made it to the bitch boat, but Elena has something to show us. I remember when I first saw this, I was thinking, oh, you got to see this. Oh, is it porn or is it a sex video of you? But no, it is fucking Sully. Sully survived that gunshot to the chest. Now they're thinking, oh, is he a fucking traitor? And I was like,
How much do you trust this guy?
I mean, look, like Sully's still cool. He may be a shyster shack, but he's our shyster shack, and there is a good reason, has to be a good reason why he is working with them. Hell, he even said in the beginning of the game that he has debts. He's up to his eyeballs in debt. And these people are clearly some people he owes money to. So this has to be something that he is doing in order to go ahead and wipe his slate clean. So either way, we'll be finding that out later on in the game. So we've abandoned the bitch boat in order to go ahead and solve another mystery. Like at this point, we're solving two mysteries. We're solving the mystery of El Dorado. We're trying to find the lost city of gold, and also we're trying to figure out why the fuck Sully is working with the bad guys. So yeah, we got two loose ends that need to be tied up. So outside of that, getting back to Deep Impact and the fucking no old people, like no old people clause is just, man. And it's not even that. It's the fact that if you haven't been picked in this life lottery to go into the life cave, then like young or old doesn't matter. Like you got a hard timestamp in terms of when you're going to die. The president just straight up told you, look, this is the point where you're gonna die. So if you can escape this shit, then by all means, if you get lucky enough to survive, then hey, all the more power to you, bros. All the more power to you, ladies. Like, but if you aren't one of us, if you haven't been picked, then you could be just coming out of jail. You could be a fucking construction worker. You could be working for UPS. You could be working you could be working as a person who shovels monkey shit in the zoo. Like, none of your skills. Hell, I'm gonna die. Let's say if something like that happened today. Like, guess what? I have no applicable skills to go ahead and help the free world. So I'm gonna die. And more than likely, 99% of everybody out there is going to die. Because I don't know any rocket scientists, or hell, unless you know a celebrity and you just so happen to be put on the fucking hot list of people who get to survive. Like celebrities, doctors, lawyers, all those people. Like all those people get to come. But motherfuckers like me, nah, I die. Like I don't have any type of skill to fucking contribute to the new world. So that's extremely fucked up. And of course, of course, at that time, the time this movie came out, we didn't have a black president. But of course, we get a black president finally in the movies. And yet when we get a black president, that's when he is handed the log of shit that he has to fucking hand the world in terms of this fucking comet coming. And going back to the game, like we are crossing this shit is going to break no matter what bridge. Like no matter what, this type of bridge will break because it is built to break. These old rickety rope bridges, no matter what game, no matter what media, if you see this bridge, the smart money is going to dictate that this bridge is going to fucking fall apart. Like as soon as I saw this bridge, I'm like, yep, it's gonna fall apart. It's gonna fall apart. Like it is mandated. It's like Sean Bean dying in every movie. These type of bridges are mandated to fucking just completely eat shit and just not be worth a damn. So Elena, all the fucking hype ass footage she got of all the shit that was happening prior to this point, she just lost. But look, there's a story. Like there's going to be two stories told. That was a fork. That was going to be the story that was going to be told of you surviving this and living to tell it another day. Or if you decided to go ahead and say fuck it and hold on to that footage, then they're going to be telling your life story in a different way, which is your obituary. So I'd rather go ahead and just live to tell this tale to my grandchildren than try to go ahead and hold on to the story via that camera. Like, it's not worth it. You know, Drake even said at one point, you know, it's not even worth dying to try to find this lost city of gold. Like, it is not worth it at all. So versus like the find of a lifetime versus dealing with bandits and constantly getting shot at and just having my, like, I don't like ducking bullets the whole time. I do not like having to watch my back. So I'd rather go ahead and be a bitch and live another day. So that was Elena's version of that. Do you rather go ahead and die for this, or do you rather live to talk about this another day? So in terms of that she made a wise choice. Let's just put it like that. Yeah, like I'm like the deep, I feel triggered by that movie just because, like, it's like everybody, like, you get picked to live or you get picked to die, and it's just it's so fucking tragic, but it is what it is. Like, God forbid something like that happened to us. Like, Frodo got to live. Frodo got to fucking live. Oh man, like Frodo lives because he had to, like, it was in the prophecy for him to fucking, like, work on Lord of the Rings. So Frodo got to live. So yeah, at this point in the game, I'm kind of feeling myself because I got some of the best weapons you can get, like the fucking Smith & Wesson and the Dragon Sniper. Two break in case of emergency guns I'm just rolling through this game with, and just completely not giving, like, iota of a fuck, just taking people down. And I love getting these type of weapons in the game because it just makes some of these encounters, granted if you could go ahead and hit somebody with them, just trivial. Like, you don't get ammo for these weapons a lot, but when you do, like, it is just such a fucking, like, the power trip you feel when you get these weapons and you just run through enemies like it ain't shit. It's just so fucking, it's so fucking amazing. Like, these games, like, they give you, like, each and every last one of these games has these weapons, and they up. I think all the games so far have the Smith & Wesson, but outside of, well, they all have a Smith & Wesson or Smith & Wesson type. They got, and as you see on my back right now, the Dragon Sniper. They got variants of these guns, but either way, you still get the one-hitter quitters, and I fucking love them for that. Like, but even with the one-hitter quitters, the grenades, as you see, like, they fucking put in work, and it took me a little while to try to go ahead and figure out how to use the grenades properly in this game because, like it's the arc. Like, it's the arc that was always, like, a thing for me trying to figure out in these games. But at this point in the game, I started to really get a bead for it. And now that I actually got a chance to really know the trajectory, like, I'm starting to run through dudes a lot quicker than I used to. Like, I'm getting my John Wick moments in, and I fucking love that. I mentioned this earlier on in the playthrough, but once you really get that flow, you get into this hypnotic zen of gameplay where you just start mowing people down and you just start running through motherfuckers, and you don't give any shit. And we are going from, like, just a crap ton of praise I've been giving this game so far to the most frustrating section to date I have gone through with this game. Like, the Ski-Doo section. Because of this section, this section is why I'm actually choosing to do this in post versus just doing it and redoing this whole section again, because fuck this section. Like, this section combines, like, the worst shit from the Ski-Doo sections earlier on in the playthrough, and it adds some new shit to it. Because when I first did this, I thought I was doing something wrong, because the entire time you do this section, you are actually fighting the current. Like, when I went, because you'll soon see that I actually went the wrong way, and I was like, okay, now I know I'm going the wrong way, so let me go ahead and go back. Like, you're having to fight the current, and on top of that, you are also having to go ahead and shoot the barrels that come with you, that come at you at various intervals throughout the section. And because the current, you're fighting the current, is bringing the barrels towards you, versus earlier on in the game where you aren't fighting a current, you're just you're just going through still water, and at least the barrels are actually like sitting stationary. So you don't have to worry about trying to micromanage your speed in order to go ahead and get through here. Like, hell, you can see right here, like, I'm struggling to get through this because I thought I was hitting an invisible wall. Like, you don't realize up until like a little bit into this that, oh yeah, wait, no, I actually do have full control of this. I just need to get a fucking running start in order to get this done. And like I said, doing this combined with trying to micromanage these barrels, and also you'll see later on, like, having to fight dudes, it is just some of the most frustrating shit that you could ever come across. And it is just, it's such a pain in the ass. And when I finished this section up, prior to me doing the post commentary for this part, I was heavily debating whether or not I would do this post commentary or I would try to go back through this again live. And this one section alone, I was like, yeah, no, son, I cannot go through this again, because it is such a fucking tedious, pain in the ass, like, this part goes on for way too long. Like, in my opinion, it goes on for way too long. It overstays its welcome. This took me like, maybe I would say a good, like, maybe I would say 10, 11 to maybe 12 minutes. Like, I cut this shit down like a lot, because this was just not fun to go through. And I'm not even sure how many Skidoo sections there are in this game like this, but I hope that this is the last one, because these sections are not fun. And as you can see right now, like, I had to do that cut just because, like, at points I had to go ahead and either stop or slow down. And if you completely stop, then you risk like losing all the progress that you made trying to go ahead and make it up this bullshit ass section. And slowing down, you tend to go ahead and run the risk of running into one of the barrels way sooner than you would like. Now, one of the saving graces for this part was the fact that I could actually take at least 1 or 2 hits of the barrels before they actually wind up killing you. And prior to that, I was thinking, oh my god, if I take at least 1 hit of the barrel, then I'm gonna, like, that's just it, like, all of my progress just gets wiped. And I was really being careful, trying not to do that. So luckily for me, I was able to go ahead and figure that out, and that made this section a little more manageable. But in terms of just the overall enjoyability of this part, it is like a fucking like 3 at most. Like, look, you can see me trying to figure this shit out now, trying to go ahead and get up to the pier. Like, this whole section was just a fucking, it was just a trial of patience. And like, I just hope to God that that is the last time like we go through a fucking section like that. So this part, luckily we got Elena back, so hopefully she doesn't go ahead and go traipsing off to another part of the mountain. We got a co-op gunman. Like, this section, I remember having Elena in the past when I played this game, and it's actually really useful to have her here, because you get a whole lot of assholes that like to go ahead and encroach on your position here. So it'll be fun to go ahead and see how we both go ahead and get through this. And we also get to solve the mystery of Sully's quote-unquote betrayal. So with that being said, that will end this part. So if you like this part, feel free to go ahead and leave me a like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next part. So from your favorite neighborhood commentator, Ed, I'm signing out. Peace out. See you next time.